Welcome back to Pedagogically Speaking, the podcast where we come together as teachers and talk about some real truths in the classroom, more than you'll learn at practicum when you're a student teacher, and the things that they do not teach us in the books that we read. So welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Ilana. I have been an inclusive education teacher for the past 6 years. I have been a teacher for 16 years, and I'm so happy that you are here. And this episode, we're really going to talk about don't ruin your spring break on Sunday and go over 5 steps that we can do for a teacher reset before Monday hits, because it is spring break for most of us. Some of you maybe that are listening either haven't had your spring break yet, or some of you only had 1 week. And so you're back already. But where I am, we have 2 weeks off, which I'm very grateful for, because 1 week just isn't enough. And I think we learned that over winter break when that 1 week isn't enough. And even though this term was shorter, it certainly was just jam-packed with so many things, so many learning opportunities for us as teachers on how to manage stress and overwhelm and how to keep yourself uh, on the precipice of burnout instead of falling right into it. So yes, thank you so much. Welcome back. And I just really hope that you all were able to rest over the spring break. And sometimes there's just too much to do. There's appointments and kids and everything like that, especially if you can't get them to camp. And even then, I was talking to over the spring break for the first week, and my daughter was in camp. And they were talking about how they just did morning camp, and I've been there, where you drop them off and it's like you think you have more time than you do, and then you're like running late to pick them up again. And that's very stressful. But one of the ways that we can ensure that we have rest is by scheduling it into our calendars. So setting alarm on your phone, or if you actually do use a calendar or a day planner, doing it that way, because then when it's scheduled and you see it, you kind of think, oh, okay, I need to do whatever it is that you need to rest. Whereas usually if we just see a blank space in our calendar, we fill it. I don't use a calendar. I always try to. I like a day planner when I'm at work, but I just cannot get into the whole calendar thing. We have like the family calendar, which we've just started, and we're not doing it as well as we can because we keep all getting confused. But I can't do the phone thing. And I've even got like a planner to help me with different things on my computer. And I don't use it. And certainly the calendar that the school uses, I never check either. But I do, if I have an alarm set and it says rest, then I will do that. But I also don't overplan much, I don't think. And I'm lucky because if I like crash and need a rest, then my partner can take over with our daughter, because that's what ended up happening yesterday. It's been a bit go, go, go for me. And then we ended up at Costco. And then as soon as we got out of Costco, I was like, oh, I don't feel good. When your body's like, cool, like you had your chance to have a break, but when you didn't take it, so now I will force you to take a break. And that's exactly what ended up happening. So I ended up needing a nap and a lie down and some Advil, but I'm feeling better anyways. All right. So, well, if you're listening to this, yeah, you're either back at work or you are still on spring break. And I personally know exactly how you are feeling. You are sitting there thinking, I should have done more. I'm not ready to go back. Why do I feel so stressed out already? And maybe part of you is starting to spiral into that Sunday feeling before Sunday has even fully arrived. You know that dread. I'm starting to feel it already. I woke up, I was like, fine on Monday, fine on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I was like, oh no, it's almost Monday. And I was like, do I go into work on Sunday? I'm not fully ready for the week yet. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I woke up today and it's Thursday. And I was like, this is basically just a long weekend. Like, buckle up. Monday will be here before you're ready for it. So yeah, definitely. It's definitely talking a bit about myself as well. Anyways, let me say this right away. No matter what happened, you did not waste your spring break. You can't waste your spring break. Okay. Did you get whether you got appointments done or not, whether you, you know what I mean, went outside or you didn't. I mean, I'm right here the whole week, first week, anyways. Like, no matter what you did, don't like beat yourself up over the fact that you think you wasted your spring break. You absolutely didn't. You know, even if you don't feel as rested as you could or any one of the things, it's fine. You know, you did the best you could with what you were kind of had left of yourself by the end of term two. Okay. So, no, you did not ruin your spring break. However, you absolutely can ruin it right now if you fall into the trap that so many of us teachers fall into at this exact moment. So today I'm going to walk you through a 5-step reset that you can do in under an hour that will help you walk into Monday feeling grounded, prepared, and what I think is most importantly, walking in on Monday feeling like yourself again. Okay, because that's really what we want. So I think it's just always a great idea. Let's name what is actually happening right now because this isn't about planning. This is actually about guilt, comparison, the pressure you feel like you're under. You know, maybe you're thinking about those teachers on Instagram. Maybe the ones with the color-coded plans and the beautiful classrooms and that fresh start energy that they've all got. Um, or maybe that's how you view some of your colleagues, you know, and you think that they have it easier or it's easier for them and you don't know why it's easier for you. And everyone's just making vanilla iced oat lattes on like Instagram and you know, you're still like, you're waking up late and wondering how you're going to wake up early on Monday and get to work on time. So suddenly, you know, your brain goes, why didn't I do that? Why am I not more organized? And I think the one that's like, I'm hearing a lot from a lot of you is, why does this feel so hard for me? Okay. But here's the truth. You don't need a glow up. Okay. You need a reset. And that's absolutely fine. You don't need to go back to work as a brand new teacher. You are amazing. What you need is to just come back a regulated human being. Okay? Because we spent all that time co regulating with students. And so we need to make sure we're coming back fully regulated. So let's get you there. And I'm not talking about like a 10-hour planning session. I'm not talking about overhauling your whole week. Okay. Let's just do 5 simple steps to reset. So, number 1, you're going to pick one priority, not 10, one. And how you're going to do that is you're going to ask yourself, what's one thing that matters most to your students this week? Is it going to be reestablishing those routines? So, do you know that your students struggle with when they come back and being with the routines of the classroom and your specific rules and boundaries and that classroom management? So do you need to reestablish those routines? You know, do you need to get them back into writing? Do you need to reconnect as a class? So then if those are the things that are the most important, then that's going to be your focus. Okay. Everything else is going to be secondary. So you're going to think, so let's say, yeah, routines are the issue. Your classroom's chaotic unless like the transitions are smooth and the routines are there. Okay. So then what's all the things that you need for your routine? And then what do you not have that you need? So for instance, if you are like, oh, I really want to have visual like representation of what they need on their desk to get ready. So like I have a colleague who on their door was like it had a picture of the desk and then a water bottle, I don't remember, pencil, something. And then that's what made it ready. Like, do you need to create that? And maybe that's not a weekend thing, you could just have that in like put it down somewhere that you're going to make that this week on one of your preps or something, and then do you need to write a couple of like sayings on how to get students back on track? So work through how you can make sure that those routines are getting reestablished, write down anything you need, and then save anything that's a bit too a bit too time consuming for right now to do later. But that's really all you need to focus on, okay? Because as long as you understand what matters most to your students, like what's going to keep them on track, then the rest of it is going to flow pretty easily. All right. So, step 2. This is going to be hard. I think this is one of the hardest steps that I put in here. But you're going to plan Monday only. You're only going to plan Monday and like check the weather forecast. Because if it's nice, take them for a walk. Make sure you can go outside for, I don't know if you have a gym teacher or if you do gym on your own, take them outside, walk, reading outside. I personally like to write outside, but you can do anything outside. When I was teaching in New Zealand, I taught so much, like math was outside, everything was outside because everyone's outside all the time anyways. So it worked out really, really well. And if you don't like going outside, that's fine, then don't do that. That's obviously just my personal preference. But like, just plan Monday only. Okay. And I really, really need you to hear this. Do not plan your entire week right now. You are still on break. Okay. And that's where overwhelm lives. And we've left overwhelm way over there and we're not bringing it back. Okay. So I just want you to plan the morning. We already talked about the transitions. Maybe your first key lesson, hopefully you're but hopefully you're maybe reteaching something that you've already taught, or you've got a lesson that you've done already. Okay, so have that first key lesson, and then that's it. Because once Monday happens, everything becomes clearer. You understand exactly where the rest of the week is going to go. You have an idea of the energy of your students or lack thereof energy of your students. You understand a lot of what's happening with them and you can plan accordingly and you can like even implement, do you need more breaks? Do you need to do some buddy class? Maybe you should do some buddy reading, go with a younger grade, older grade, and do some co-teaching. Maybe it's a show and share week, even with grade 5. That's great. Oral communication, like the structure of a presentation. There's so much you can do, but leave that for Tuesday or Monday after school, because you really want to have that clarity of like, okay, this is where everyone's at. And I would say most of the time it's surprising, right? For good or bad, most of the time it's surprising. So plan for Monday, figure out what does your class absolutely need, plan for Monday, and then what do you need to make sure your transitions are good, a key lesson, and then see how it goes from there. And if you watched my previous stuff, you know that you should make sure you've got your anchor routine ready to go. So if you've already got one anchor routine, including another one, and that's something where it's the same thing that happens every day at the exact same time. So, after recess, are they doing a journal prompt? Are they doing do you have a math thing on the board for everyone to do, or different, differentiated for your students? Do you have a word problem? There's so many different things you can do. So if you've already got one, implement another anchor routine just so you can have some reset and keep yourself ready to go. Yeah. All right. So let's just move on to step 3, and we're going to reduce. We're not going to add. Okay? Because your brain is going to tell you, oh, I am relaxed. I have just been on spring break for 2 weeks. Everyone thinks I was on a vacation because no one really knows how hard teaching is. So this is the time to try something new because I'm ready to go. No, I say no. Instead, ask yourself, what can you simplify, reuse, or skip? Do you have lessons that you've done in the past that you enjoy? Do them. Does your colleague do something the same kind of weekly plan after a break? Do that. Ask them for those resources. Do it yourself as well. Okay? So this could look like reusing a lesson, um, or just reusing the structure of a lesson, doing review instead of new content. It could also look like cutting something entirely out and instead going for a walk or having extra silent reading time. Okay. Or introducing something that could be new and fun, like show and tell. Okay. Less is not lazy, less is strategic. It's strategic for you so that you're not overwhelmed right now and you can ease into going back to school. And it's strategic for the students who have also been on break and maybe need to ease back into all the routines and transitions as well. Doing less is important as well, because things that were, even if your classroom was chaotic or whatever, a lot of things didn't take too long to do because the students do them all the time. Well, they haven't been doing them. So they might need extra time in the coat room because they forgot to take out A, B, and C from their backpacks. Or they need extra time for snack because they're not used to being like eating on a schedule again. There's so many reasons why less is such a good plan. So remember, less is strategic. Okay. So step number 4, I really want you to set an energy boundary. This is what most teachers skip, and it's very important. And I need you to decide right now, what time are you leaving work this week? What are you not bringing home? Okay, it is week 1. Do not bring anything home. What are you going to make sure you don't bring home? And set a time. Put like a timer and alarm at that time. So when it goes off, you're like, oh, I gotta go. Okay. And if no is always an answer, or I need to go is always an answer, you do not need to give more. But if that's something that you're working on personally, the alarm going off, whoever hears it realizes, yeah, you've got something going on. You better go. Okay. So for example, on Monday, so school ends at 2:40. I plan on being out of there by 2:45, mainly because I want to hit the gym for a 3:00 session. But I know that's what I'm going to do. Does that mean I get to work a little bit earlier? Who knows? We'll see. That's a Monday issue. But I know that first day back, I'm leaving 5 minutes after the bell rings. That's just what I'm going to do so that I can take care of my mental health starting on day 1. Okay? Another example is, you're not going to do any work after dinner. And I need you to figure this out now. And I need you to set those alarms, and I need you to set those boundaries now. Because if you don't set this now, the job will decide for you. Okay. And you might think, oh, well, we're just talking, we're colleagues, da da da. But do you really want to be at work until an hour and a half after the bell has rung, even if it's talking to your colleagues? Or would you rather be home, making sure, like going over the day, reflecting, checking on how your energy feels, and thinking about, okay, what did I learn from today that I can bring with me for the rest of the week? I think that's the most important. Set those boundaries and take care of yourself. Step 5, I want you to anchor a win for Monday. I want you to give yourself and your students guaranteed success. Okay? Something simple. What do your students always love that you do? And what do you also like doing? Like, you want those to be paired together. So, is that a read aloud? Is that a class circle? Is that a partner activity? A review game? I want you to think of something that lets you walk out on Monday thinking, all right, I can do this. Okay. That successful moment, that understanding of like, oh, look, that went really well. I can absolutely do this. Teaching is hard. Here's my successful moment. I know I can have more of those. Okay. For me, it is like I do love a read aloud. But for every teacher, it's different. And I just want you to think of the things that, like, things that have gone well in your classroom where your students are happy, you're happy. So you're all resetting and finding success together, because that's really important and that will keep your spirits up as well. Oh, it's a bit of a shorter episode today. I think I just really wanted to honor where everyone's at. You know, Last term was very difficult. I can understand if you're not ready to go back or you're feeling really stressed about it. And I really just wanted to kind of think about, well, how am I going to like make sure that I'm feeling myself and not feeling overwhelmed, and trying to keep like anxiety to a minimum, because I don't want to start losing sleep before Monday hits. I mean, I don't really want to lose sleep even after Monday, but I really don't want to go into this stressed out. And so I thought of these kind of ways that I'm going to protect myself, and I hope that it helps you. And I kind of just really want to leave you with this. You know, you are not behind. You are not less than the teachers you see online. You're not less than the colleagues in your hallway. You are a human being returning to a job that asks a lot of you, and that people do not understand how hard it is. And there's a big difference between being unprepared and being human. You know, you don't need to come back perfect. You don't need to come back transformed. You need to come back steady. Okay. You need to come back steady and honoring yourself, setting boundaries, and knowing that this job is more than it used to be, and it will continue being more. Especially, we work in a job where the closer you are to kids, the least amount of money you get paid, right? Like, we're all classroom teachers. We are getting paid less than a vice principal who is only maybe partially in the classroom. They're getting paid more. And then a principal who's not in the classroom at all gets paid even more than that. And then someone, if you have school districts where you work, they're getting paid more. And there's not even students in the building. And then people who work for the Ministry of Education arguably are getting paid more as well. And so it's really, I think, extremely frustrating to think about that too, to think about the fact that there's people who haven't taught for years, decades, and they are getting paid more than we are, and we are getting overwhelmed all of the time. So today, instead of spiraling, try this. Pick one priority. One priority. For me, it's definitely the routines. Plan Monday. Don't plan for the rest of the week. Plan Monday. Take what you learn on Monday and apply it for the rest of the week. Reduce something. Okay? Less is strategic. Don't forget about that. Set a boundary. When are you leaving work? When are you leaving work? Or is your boundary not doing work after dinner? Pick that boundary and set it. And then 5, give yourself a win. Okay, I'm personally doing a read aloud. So that's it. Okay, that is your reset and mine. And if you haven't heard this in a while, if no one has told you this yet, you are allowed to start imperfectly and still be an incredible teacher because you are an incredible teacher. All right. Thanks so much for listening, and I will see you next week. As always, please email me, pedagogicallyspeakingpod@gmail.com. I love, love, love getting your emails. Have a great week back.